Hello, I'm Kendare Blake, author of the Three Dark Crowns series, and for the last several weeks I've been giving book recommendations from those shelves over there. But today I'm on the couch with my dog, Agent Scully, because today the books that I want to recommend feature great animal characters. So Scully said she would help out. Thanks, Bug. So let's get started with the first recommendation. Right, Bug? Book number one is Black Wings Beating by Alexander London. This book is basically badass falconry, and I shouldn't have to tell you any more to get you to try it. There's a fantastic sibling relationship at the heart of this, kind of a brother and sister on a quest to save themselves and capture a fantastic ghost eagle that is one of the coolest birds that I've ever read about in fiction. The antagonists of this series are kind of anti-bird fanatics. Not like they want to kill all the birds, but they definitely don't want the birds to be used in falconry, and they do kill a few birds, so it's really easy to want to punch them in the face, which is always great in a villain. There's a falcon in this that really tugs on my heartstrings. She's just plucky, and she's really bonded with her handler. I learned a lot of cool things about falconry in this, and I believe that the sequel is already out. It's called Red Skies Falling. But if you like birds, which who doesn't like birds? Well, I guess like Hitchcock probably didn't like birds. Anyway, check this one out, Black Wings Beating, Alexander London. The next book I'm recommending is Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials trilogy, consisting of The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. This one is going to be a new TV series on HBO, I believe. It takes place in a world where people have their souls on the outsides of their bodies, kind of in the shape, and they take the shapes of animals. There's a guy in this, for example, who has his soul takes the shape of a big white leopard named Stelmaria, and she's awesome. There's also a little girl named Lyra Belacqua, and she's one of the best heroines in fiction, in my opinion. I just love her. Her little animal soul can take on a lot of different shapes. When you're a child, your animal can take on pretty much any shape that it wants, and then as you grow and you become an adult and you solidify your personality and lose all your innocence and whatnot, then you eventually, your little animal soul takes on its permanent shape. But for now, in these books, Pan is his name. He can take the form of just about anything, like a moth at one point, or he spends most of his time hanging out as like a ferret. The books are really great. It's a fantasy adventure. The world is just astounding and totally imaginative, and I highly recommend it before the series is watched on TV or, concurrently. The third book I'm recommending, featuring animal characters, Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palprado. One of my favorite books from last year, and definitely one of my new favorite fantasy series. This is about Phoenix riders. Okay, so in this book, in the past, there was a war between two sister queens, which is straight up my alley, and one of those queens was a Phoenix rider. So in the book you get to hear about their battle in the past, and also we see two new sisters who have a very tumultuous relationship, and they are trying to hatch phoenixes of their own because there aren't very many phoenixes left anymore following this war. And when the book opens, they're trying to hatch their first phoenix, and they set up this pretty rad nest of like dead, bloody, burning bones because, according to the lore of the Phoenix lore in this, that is what hatches a phoenix, which was one of my favorite aspects ever. Also, I don't know about you, but I play a lot of Final Fantasy, so this beautiful bird on the cover just reminded me a whole lot of a chocobo. So while they were, the passages I was reading about them riding around and having just fabulous sky battles with burning flames and everything, I was mostly also picturing just bopping around on the back of a chocobo in Final Fantasy. It's really epic, it's really badass, it's really good. I think the sequel comes out next year and it's called Heart of Flames, but definitely check it out. It's not just phoenixes either, there's also like a really cool dog and a really cool horse, just a plethora of really good animal characters. Next book up, this is Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott. This is kind of like if you cross Pokemon with the Hunger Games, which are two things that I enjoy, you would get this book. So it's like, it takes place, there's a race across many different terrains, and to help you out on this race, you get like a little scientifically altered animal companion, and they come in all different shapes and sizes, and they have all different like Pokemonish type powers. But the one that the girl gets in Fire and Flood is like this really, really cute little black fox. I can't remember exactly what he does. I swear, like, in my mind he had like laser eyes, but he has a lot of advantages, and he helps her out over the course of this race that I think you're racing for like a cure for a dying family member. You know, in these dystopian type races, they always have some terrible motivation, and I think it's one of those terrible motivations. But it's a really fun race, it's a really fun competition, and it's loaded with really adorable animals. I won't lie, the whole time I was reading this, I just wanted her to die so that she would give me her tiny black fox, but you know, that's just because I'm a butt. Really enjoyed this one. I think there's a sequel out called Salt and Stone, but if you like Pokemon and you like little black foxes, check this one out. And finally, for almost no reason other than I hadn't recommended a Stephen King book yet, and I figured it was about time, Stephen King's The Stand. This was one of my favorites when I was a kid. As you can see, the condition of my copy that I've had since I was in about 7th grade. It's been read and reread many a time. The Stand is about the end of the world. A super flu comes through and wipes out all but like 3 to 7% of the population who are immune. And part of the book is about like what it's like to survive that plague, and as the plague is ripping through, and how the country reacts. And then like the next half of the book is how the survivors kind of traipse around in the aftermath. And in the aftermath of that, there is a dog in this book, and his name is Kojak. He's a golden retriever, but his name always made me imagine him in like a red plaid flannel, because doesn't that sound like a lumberjack name? He's only in the book to be a good dog. Like, he does some stuff, but he's not like a main character. He's just a good doggo, which everybody should like. Sometimes animals just exist to be, you know, in the background, but Kojak is... The plague affected dogs too. So horses, dead. Cats are totally fine because of course they are. They're cats. But dogs were basically wiped out by this plague too. So featuring Kojak was just like a balm to my soul to run across this dog who was perfectly alive and well, and in my mind he was not responsibly neutered, so that someday he can find a lady dog and have puppies and propagate the species. Yeah, so The Stand. Also, it's just a really good book. I always like to recommend a little bit of horror, and this is a good one. I found my dragon book. It's The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli. I love dragons. They're one of my favorite fantasy elements, one of my favorite magical creatures. I mean, when I was a kid, it was all unicorns, but now I think I've matured, and it's pretty much all dragons. Oh, hey, here's Armpit McGee. You said you didn't want to be in the video either, bud. Ah, such a joiner. Don't growl at your brother. Don't growl at your brother. Okay, so The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli. My house is a zoo. This is a really great start to a fantasy series. The dragons in this like stories. Like, they're like the keepers of stories, and they like being told stories. It's a whole, like, the dragons are almost bookworms in this. And the dragons are you and I, which I really enjoyed. I'd never seen that aspect to a dragon before. If you see me in other videos, you know I just really dig dragons. Viserion was my favorite dragon in the Game of Thrones series, which, you know, that really broke me. So when you start this book, the main character is a dragon hunter. Obi's leaving me. The main character is a dragon hunter. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get on board with that. I was like, woman, stop, we're going to have beef. But actually, stay with it, because it gets... that part of it doesn't stick around for that long. And it's a really good read. And the dragons are just wonderful. Well, that is about it. And next time will be my final video. So, oh, that'll be sad. But until then.
Hi, I'm Kendare Blake, author of the Three Dark Crowns series. Thank you so much for watching. For more videos, click here, and to subscribe to Epic Reads, click here.